loading. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the local music scene. I have my girl Kirstie here. I mean, can we just talk about how awesome she is? No, I'm just kidding. If you don't know, I started doing this on Facebook to kind of get the artists to come on and just kind of have more talks about themselves and more than just kind of their music, so we can get to know them a little better. So I decided to bring on my friend Kirstie because she has like just the awesomest personality and so much fun. And so I just thought it'd be fun to have her on. So with that, I think you should like say a little bit about yourself just in case, people haven't seen you on the IG Live side of it. And
Cool.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm really happy to be here. I feel like it's been way too long, even though I love
Yes.
that we have Instagram groups to chat and just support each other. That's amazing. Thank you for having me, Kara.
Yeah.
And I think broad statements about me is I'm a type A, but I also can be laid back sometimes. I'm trying to embrace my spontaneous side of me more. I've been doing a lot more traveling in the last 2 years, and
Yeah.
being able to travel with music is the best thing. It's so
Yeah.
much fun. So I've been just exploring the country, but now that Nashville is coming back, I'm in town. I'm in my hometown. I live right on the west side of Nashville. It's not my hometown, but I like now it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I live on the west side of Nashville and just really diving into taking advantage of being home, meaning doing in-person rights and shows. And I'm a lifer is what they call it.
Yeah.
So pretty much every activity that I do is around music, or growing up it's been that way. But I do get out. I do get outside. I'm going to the races on Friday, and
Yeah.
I do activities like
Yeah.
that. I love big events and going to festivals and all the things.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do? Like outdoorsy?
Oh, I like being in the ocean. If we're like,
Yeah.
that's my aunt asked me recently. She lives down in Bradenton Beach, Florida, which is on the hold on northeast west coast
Okay.
of Florida, and on this island. And she's like, "What do you love about Florida?" And I was like, "The beach, obviously, like
Yeah.
swimming in the ocean."
Yeah.
Um, that's probably my favorite. Is just hearing the waves and being able to be near water.
Yeah. That's what I love about Washington is I'm not far from the beach ever. Like we're just in a little pocket of like there's ocean everywhere and the beach everywhere. So I
Nice.
feel kind of blessed in that way that I can within like 2 hours I could be on the west coast of Washington and just be
Hmm.
at the beach.
And they're so calming about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
Yeah.
that much about all the signs, but I don't remember like Libras being like into water, but
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love being able
I'm
to
a
just
Cancer.
swim.
I'm a water sign.
Oh yeah, so you
Yeah.
you definitely love
Yeah. I think I have a tendency to go towards it.
it.
I love
I'm
the
a
shower. Like I'll just sit in the shower and just like be there in the shower. Like I
I
just
never
I don't know.
embraced that up until like 3 years ago. Then I realized like, oh wow, showers are awesome. You can drink water in the shower. Like I have water bottles like sitting there waiting for me,
Oh
so
my
I can
god.
just be like drinking water in the shower. I have like I'll bring my toothbrush in there.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
however I can spend more time in the shower. Like
That's
warm up.
amazing.
My poor like I live in a condo, so my
Yeah.
neighbor probably hears me at like 9 in the morning when I have to go
Yeah.
downtown for a morning shift, warming up in the shower, doing
Yeah.
ridiculous sounds, and he's probably hearing me being like, "Come on, I'm trying to sleep a little bit more." I don't even know what his schedule is, but I
Yeah.
feel bad.
Oh, that's where I do my best thinking is in the shower. And like
Yes.
conversations that I wish I could have had or conversations that like I wish I would have said something or something.
Yeah.
Like that's my safe space.
Nice. Nice. I answered the phone. I answered an Instagram call in the shower the other day, and then the
What?
video started, and I was like, no, because it was like faced upward, so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what was happening, but I was like, no. And then he's like, what are you doing? And he said he would call in like a window of time. It was actually Dom from
Yeah.
the country test with Dom in the UK. So timing is different for us, like 7 hours, you know. So he called and I was like, hey, and he's like, what's going on? I was like, trying to get ready to go downtown. I'm actually in the shower right now. So like I didn't exactly mean to answer. Like I don't know what he wanted to tell me about a song that I sent him. I sent him like a demo of a song I'd just written, and
Yeah.
I just knew that he would like that specific song, and so
Yeah.
I sent it to him, and I'm like, "What do you?" And he was trying to just give me feedback on it, like what he
Yeah.
thought and how much
That's
he liked it.
awesome.
But it was funny because I was like, "Guess I'm talking to you while I'm getting ready."
That's so funny. I've only answered the phone once in the shower, and it was um audio. But like at the same time, I was like, yeah, so I'm taking a shower. Can we like maybe do this later? Like,
Yeah, is this
like
something that we can just wait a little bit?
yeah. I mean, I know I was supposed to call you, but I decided to go in the shower.
So before we went live, we were starting to get into the vinyl and the
Yeah.
digital and then
Yes.
the CDs
Yeah.
and how I'm like I just I'm a little bit hippie about things. I don't make my own toothpaste, but like we're on the spectrum of
Yes.
hippiness, and I definitely am like album, like
Yeah.
full
Yes.
album. I haven't done vinyl yet, but I do have a vinyl player, and I will tell you I got it basically by doing questionnaires for my health insurance.
What?
You get points, and at the end of the year, I had like 1,000 some points, and you got to pick what you wanted as like the prize.
Yeah.
And one of them was a record player.
That's
And I
so
was like,
cool.
what a weird place to get a record player from.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
awesome.
like this little rectangle about this big.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. I'll get that in the mail anytime.
Yeah. We have a Costco up here, and
Love
I got
Costco.
mine has like it's red, and it's the have you ever been in a 66 Mustang?
I can't say that I have.
No? Okay. Well,
66?
yeah, 66 Mustang. No? Okay. So I grew up with a 66 Mustang, and so it's the inside radio part of a Mustang. And so it has like the little dials that are on the side, and then it's like that old radio style in the middle, and then the hood, the record part of it is a hood that opens up like this,
Oh, that's
and it has
cool.
like the Mustang inside of it, the lines, and then on the front has the Mustang logo too. It's so cool. It's cherry red, like a Ford Mustang.
Yes.
So I was like, I can't pass this up.
Uh-huh.
I have to
It's
get
so
it.
beautiful. How many records do you have then for this record
So
player?
um so the very first one I ever bought was Joan Jett, right?
Good choice.
She's my favorite, and so I bought hers. I was like, what is my first vinyl gonna be? And I was like, it has to be her. And then
Oh,
my favorite band of all time is Hanson. So when I went to their concert, I got their vinyl. And then the last one, right after that, I went to the Jonas Brothers concert and I got Happiness Begins because that's like one of the best
okay.
records.
I have a
Um,
friend in town who like loves Hanson. I might have to introduce the two of you.
they are my whole heart. They're my
Okay,
favorite band, hands down.
underrated, very underrated.
Completely underrated. Yes.
She had
Everybody's
me
like, oh,
listen.
Bop and their boy band, whatever. And I'm always like, they're not a boy band, they're a band.
They're related. Like it's
Yeah,
more than
they're
a
all
boy
brothers. Yeah.
band put together. Like they
Yes.
are humans that yeah. Oh, Fort Atkinson. Hey
Hi.
Casey. I'm gonna be
Hi.
coming up to that area the end of June. That's my next trip
I
out.
don't know where Fort Atkinson is. Where is that? Is that Tennessee?
It's in Wisconsin.
Oh,
So
okay.
9 hours north, and
Okay.
Fort Atkinson was actually a city that I performed at a professional dinner theater in my childhood. So from
Mm.
8 to 13, I did plays. And I did a lot
Wow.
of like theater, and it was like 5 Christmas shows, and the Titanic and the Sound of Music, and the shows went for
Titanic.
3 months.
Uh-huh.
And then we would learn the show in 2 weeks. And then we would have to just like run, like we would be there. I'd be there like
Yeah.
5 days a week.
Wow. Oh
Yeah,
my
sometimes
gosh.
I'd have to leave school early, and I'd be like, I got this, you guys. I'll just get my homework.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you
That's so
know,
cool.
yes.
I was a band geek. I was never in like I admired the people that were in theater and
Play,
stuff
yeah.
and did all of that because I went to watch them. I admire them and I love musicals and all of that, but I even now, like as a musician and having songs out and all of that, I still can't like I can do guitar on stage, but I'm too terrified to like even try and sing. Like I haven't gotten that far yet.
Well, we're getting you there, right? I mean, you're like writing your songs. We're getting you
Yeah.
there. You'll be able to
Yeah.
share.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. I want to do I had quick, hey, thank you for chiming in. Brandon,
Hi
you're
everybody.
awesome. Hey, everybody.
Favorite
And
co-host live on the air.
Brandon from the Backstage Pass.
Oh,
It's been a lot of fun to be able to co-host. I've interviewed some really awesome artists with a lot of talent, and
that's
being
awesome.
able to be exposed to new artists that I
Yeah.
maybe not would have stumbled across, but like I'm so thankful that I did,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. That's the cool part about this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
because I'm sure
But-
you've met like a ton of people, a
Oh,
ton.
she's like I mean, I've done close to I think I'm at 400 interviews at this point. And
Nice.
yeah, and like I haven't personally met I haven't personally met a lot of them, but it's because a lot of people were like you like out of state or something or even out of country. But yeah, I mean, it's been so cool being able to just like just meet people and like I know so many people now. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to keep up with people. Like
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
so but it's so much fun. Like I love it so much and I get so much joy out of just being able to share, everybody with the world and my audience and it's just so much fun to just talk to people about something we both care about.
oh, oh yeah. Yeah. And like you can see the passion in people, and then
Yeah.
that just like triggers you to want to go and be it's just like, yeah, that's what I love meeting people in the morning for coffee, especially
Yeah.
other female artists, because then we get together and we chat, and we're throwing
Yeah.
tips to each other and like forwarding this person's email or whatever. I just met with Kelly Jean, and she was so sweet, and it was just a really good meeting, and it just fires me up that much more,
Yeah.
like having that somebody who just is this passionate about the
Yeah.
same thing.
Well, I saw, you were a couple weeks ago, you were with some of the girls or I consider some of my friends Gabrielle and Christine, right?
Yes,
You guys had gotten all together?
yes. Kirstie Huff, Gabrielle Metz,
Yep.
and those two are so like the sweetest human beings. Gabby and I have now gotten together twice and written songs,
Wow.
and I think she's super into it. Like,
Yeah.
you always like, you never know, but she
Yeah.
keeps being like, let's write again, and
Yeah.
I love this, and so I'm like, okay, cool, because sometimes you don't know if you're, especially if you're writing with another like person who's like a straight artist, that also writes, that really doing the artist thing.
Yeah.
So it's cool when they're excited about the song as well. And then Crystal King, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, she's just a wonder. She came. I saw her last night with her
Oh,
husband and his friend. She's wonderful. We've been writing together, and so I know I want to. I would love to write with Kirstie Huff. I mean, I'm a
yeah.
fangirl for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
she's awesome. I am too. Like both of them, like me and Gabby were talking yesterday just about music and she had like put on her I think it was her Instagram, maybe, I don't know. That she had like covered she was like covering one of my very favorite 80, I think it's 90 songs.
yes.
Uh the Four Non Blondes. And so I messaged her about it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's like my favorite song." And so last night, like after we were texting about it, I heard it on the radio,
Oh, that's
and
so
so
funny.
I sent it to her, and I was just like, "Look, it came on," and she's like, "You can sing it?" I was like, "Not as well as you.
Yeah, I
You
love
did a
that.
better
That's a
job."
hard song to sing. It
Yeah,
really is. And like speaking of that era of music, I sang an 80. Well, I sang Starship, so that's like the
yeah,
80s. Do you know Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now?
yes,
Straight
yeah.
up sang that song at church on Sunday with a
What?
full band.
No
It
way!
was so much fun.
That's awesome.
And like I did my own like spin on it, but
Yeah.
to sing a song like that
Oh,
was so like and the message was so perfect, and the message the center of spiritual living was just
yeah.
about love in general, and like
Mm,
how we can build on that and
yeah,
use that to guide us. And so nothing's gonna stop us now. And then I did
yeah.
a Dolly song that I didn't know before this, but it's
Oh,
called Better Get to Living.
never
And
heard of that
it's
one. Yeah,
right, yeah, I mean there's so much to dive in to with her that
yeah.
I found it and I read the lyrics and I listened to it and I was like, this is perfect. I'm gonna learn this.
Do you lead your worship team at your church?
I know I go in to sing sometimes as like the featured performer. Otherwise
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just a patron in
Okay.
the yeah, in the piece. But everyone there is so present and just like very genuine, and
Mm,
the community is, we are all one, we are
yeah,
all love, God lives here in our right in our hearts. And I'm like, cool. And then we
yeah,
acknowledge all of the great teachers.
yeah,
So I grew up Catholic, and
yeah,
I'm like, I can get behind this 110%.
yeah,
110%. You know, like
yeah. I love
I love
it.
it, and the people are
Yeah.
great. They're great, and they were so appreciative of the musicians and what we did on Sunday. And we really like, it's an amazing energy of what everyone when everyone gets together and shows up and like does music
Mm,
like that together. It feels really
mm.
good.
I've always been a fan. I think more so than the actual preaching, it's been the music for me. Like whenever we worship, it's like that's just like I don't know. I feel like that's where I'm like in a good space or something. Like it's weird. I just kind of like transform out of wherever I'm at, and that's like the space I'm in that moment, you know?
I love
And
that.
uh or where I feel closest to God, or I don't know what it is, but it's
Yeah,
like I feel so good in that space most of the time. And so I played on the worship team as the drummer for a little while.
that's
Um
awesome.
and then when I'm in California and then when we moved back here, I didn't do it. But
That's
um
awesome.
yeah, so
They say that like I've heard that music is just that much more of prayer. Like it's like
yes.
a higher of praise, a version of praising. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, that makes sense. Brandon, shout out to you. Thank you. New single is coming out on June
Yes.
25th.
Yay! It's she's putting it out for my birthday, just so you all know.
Yes. It's the day
I'm just
before or
kidding.
after. You said it was like 2 days. It's
It's two
like
days
right
before. It's
around.
the 23rd. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
So I
had
keep joking with you that
I
it's for my
know.
birthday.
It's gonna be so much fun to have that song out. I did my first like Nashville showcase last night with the full band, and
Yeah.
that was when I showed up last. I was like up to here already. Like
Wow.
I was like pumped,
Yeah.
so ready for it. And then we did it, and it's called Bus Call.
Yes.
Bus
Yeah.
Call's a big, yeah. It's like a kind of like a rite of passage in Nashville, as
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
So I felt so good about the performance, and I went over to the people and I thanked them, and he was like, make message us in a couple months, like we want to have you on as a regular. And I was like, I'm all about it. Yes, I will. And then he's like, I saw your video guy was doing some good videos, so like send that over to us. We'll put some clips on our website and stuff.
That's so
And I was like,
cool.
that's everything you want to hear after
Yeah. That's
your
amazing,
yeah.
friend. Congratulations.
And my parents were in town for it. They left this morning, but like it just
Aw.
felt really good for
Yeah.
them to. They stayed extra because I told them
Yeah.
that. So that was going down Wednesday night. So I was like, stay, stay.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, it was really fun and it went good and the musicians knocked it out of the park.
That's so great. I
Yeah.
love it. It's so like exciting when I get to see you like you guys play in like some pretty iconic places. And like I saw that yesterday and I was like, "Oh my God." And though I don't live in Nashville, I'm very aware of like
You know
the
that that's a
places.
stepping
Yeah.
stone.
Yeah. So I just was so excited for you and it's so great that you're getting the recognition. I believe recognition you deserve because you work so hard and like
Oh,
um you just put all of your all into it all. And so I feel like into the whole aspect of it all. And um you're just awesome. So I think I was really excited to see that. I'm like, yes, finally like a stage that like
yeah.
deserves all that hard work.
Yeah, and the fact they were like wanted me back
Want you
too,
back
and
and to be a regular, like that's
yeah,
awesome.
I've definitely had a lot of moments lately,
Yeah.
like the kind of moments where I'm like, oh my God, these are things that my schedule or like things that I'm doing is what I thought like was so cool that artists were
Yeah.
doing 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
like, and now I'm like, this is a day, this is a normal day,
Yeah.
this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
next
you've
up,
worked hard for it though to get
yes.
to that point, and like it takes so much dedication and work and time and effort
Mm,
and a team and people that support you. And I think that like it just shows, what that all of that can do for you, and how all of that can kind of pay off after a couple of years, you know, how it's just something that like you kind of have to step stone to, but it's
absolutely.
it's almost it's awesome to see when you're like, I obviously wasn't there from the beginning, but like, just in the little time that I've known you, you've just like blew up into this like really awesome artist that I've seen you
Mm.
become. And it's awesome to see you like do great things.
Thank you. Yeah, you just gotta keep planting the seeds, and
Mm-hmm.
then like maybe they bloom a month later, maybe they bloom 3 years later, but
Yeah.
they do bloom, and like
Yes.
things come from either people that you meet or whatever. I've witnessed it
Yeah.
already, so like that's it's just fun. It's fun to be able to
Yeah.
see that like people from like 3 years ago or
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's talk since he brought it up. Let's talk about your bird song is what I like to call it.
As
Uh, you know, you were telling me earlier that there's like a good story behind it. Can you kind of share that with everybody?
Yeah, so I think Bird came across actually after an encounter that I had with actually it was a person in Nashville who
Mm,
had regular rounds, and I went to go introduce myself, and I felt really sad because I like to, I'm a very genuine person and I
yes.
love people. And so I went to just introduce myself. It's not like I was going to ask them to play, nothing. I wasn't, I wanted to respect what they had going on. So I wasn't going to push that. I just wanted to meet them. And they did not even give me the time of day, like, wouldn't even almost look in my direction as like a human being. And I felt really discouraged, like, almost like frustrated and upset
Yeah.
because it seemed like their platform was to support artists.
Yeah.
And I got home, I wrote on my little Google Drive, I wrote grit my teeth,
Yeah.
and it ended up not being called that, it ended up being called Bird, but the
Yeah.
chorus starts with grit my teeth. But it's funny, like I wrote it then about that encounter, and it didn't like it makes sense. The lyrics made sense to me. It's everything that I needed to say about that. But I feel like the lyrics make so much more sense to me
Mm,
now.
mm,
And just encounters with people where you just don't want to have their negative energy and you want to be
yeah.
positive. And instead of flipping them off and even letting them get to you to that point, like you're like, listen, maybe I'll dream about it and maybe I'll do that to you in my dream because it's like,
Yeah.
not real, but I'm gonna be over here. And
Yeah.
so it's almost like the Midwest version since I'm from the Midwest. of like, bless your heart, I
Yeah.
wish you the best. That's kind of like, that's kind of like its
Yeah.
version of that. And it's called Bird. So it's about not flipping people off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh.
like, the lyrics, like, I never thought I could be affected by your criticism, poisoned by your cynicism. Lies dim the shine out of me. And just it goes, goes on from there, but it's pretty when you really get into the lyrics. I sing it's pretty
Yeah.
powerful stuff. So I'll have to paste the lyrics somewhere in like
Yeah.
a YouTube video or something.
Do like one of those maybe like a lyric video.
Yeah, I have an
Yeah.
acoustic video, performance video. So cat's out of the bag with that. I have that one done, and we need to do just a couple more editing because I'm a
Yeah.
perfectionist. But
So it
I
makes you great.
yeah, I was like, we're kind of done, right? Like I thought we were done, and I was like, just send it over. Let me take a look. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I still want a couple more things.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought we talked about that. Weren't you just gonna do it?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so I'm probably gonna go over there and just I'm definitely like the driver most of the time. So I
Yeah.
gotta be like, yep, let's do this. Like I feel like I always have a vision, but then I always like when I'm in that creative space, go with my gut,
Mm.
like of decisions. I like allow myself to get in that space where it's like making the calls, and just
Right.
going with what you're feeling in that moment.
Yeah. I I'm learning to be that way. Like I've always been so like calculated and I think too much and like I have to have like I have to observe before I'm really just gonna like jump right in. And even
You,
doing all of this, like I still
yeah.
it took me I knew I was gonna do it like 10 years ago and then it just took me all this time to just be like, okay, I think I can do it now.
That's interesting here because like yeah, just
Yeah.
embrace your gut. I feel like we as people are so much more aware of what we actually think we are aware of
Yeah.
in any given situation, and if more people just came into tune with that,
Yeah.
they could make decisions a lot faster. And
But
I
I
feel
also
like
feel
that's what
like
I'm
you're a
working
little
on.
more free though. Like you're like back to like the kind of the hippie vibe, you
Yes.
know? Like I feel like that kind of comes with it of you're just like, okay, like
Yeah.
it just like being totally open to like whatever comes and
Yeah.
um I just feel like it's kind of that vibe that you give off. But I mean, also, I feel like you kind of also are really good at making decisions. Like you just seem to like make really good decisions for your career too.
Oh, that's good to hear. I mean, I just, I do have an overlying plan. I don't want
Yeah.
people to think I don't, because I do. It's like, okay, bus call's gonna happen when
Yeah.
I'm about to, like, right before I'm about to release my record. That's when I'm gonna start doing these showcases in town. Like, I have all that
Yeah.
stuff that I know when the general timeline is. Um, but I definitely realized like when I went full time with music, which was 5 years ago, and was officially like my own boss every day, I am able to embrace more of that. Like, oh, should I go to Denver for a wedding and then play a couple shows with it and visit
Yeah, while you're
friends?
there. Yeah.
Let me ask my boss.
Yeah.
She said it was cool. Like, let's go. It's a very different
Yeah.
world. As long as I can continue to pay my bills and continue to release music, because that's the ultimate goal is to
Hmm.
one day, when my body's no longer on this earth and I pass, to have someone sit there and be like, whoa, this is a
Yeah.
lot of songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this person,
Yeah.
listen to this one, and then this. Like I think that would be like a life goal.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think that music has that timelessness to it. And it not only, I think there's a lot of musicians that have that they want to be able to have their music outlast them and
Mm-hmm.
be timeless. And I that's what I think I love about local musicians, is that I feel like there's a little bit more of that, like, uh, it's not so pressed, it's more personal, not like a major label
Yes.
where you're like pressed to get something out, it's more personal, it's more, maybe you're not Beyonce, but it's your music matters just as much, and so I feel like that being a goal is awesome because that way, you know, you're also just putting it out for the love of it,
Yes.
not
For
because
the
you
love
have
of
to,
it. Yes. For the love of it. And I think that's like why I can write one day like a sync song and the next day it's like, sometimes it just depends on how I'm feeling that day with
Mhm.
what lyrics or songs or vibes I'm coming out. Like of course I have ideas that I'll go into a write with, but sometimes if I'm feeling totally different, we'll just go off of that. And I think
Yeah.
that's like the spontaneity of
Mm.
the creative process is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
'Cause, it depends on the day and it depends on my mood, what grouping of songs that I get in front of me to then choose of what's going to be on the record. Like all of that has
Yeah.
part of it, and also like what you're listening to
Yeah.
constantly,
Yeah.
So I lots of the kind of 80s rock for me, and then now female
Yeah.
country, like female country all the
Yeah.
time. The Gabrielle Metz and the Kirstie Huffs and the Crystal Kings and and beyond. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of that.
Yeah. I do too. I find myself listening to you guys way more than I do like mainstream music. Like I only really listen to mainstream music if I'm in my truck, but if I'm in the house or I'm working in the house, like I have this like local playlist, and I also have it on Spotify too. So I just like play through that, and um, I don't know. I just find that like local music is just way. I mean, not that there isn't a lot of music that isn't good out there, but it's just I don't know. I think because I'm so invested, I just find it way more enjoyable to listen to, I think.
Mm, yeah, yeah, and you know them too as well,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
part of
know
it
their
too.
story, so you kind of almost like know the story behind the song, or they
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
I am making a point though to do some things this summer that are for fun.
Yes.
So on Friday, I'm going to the races in Nashville,
Yes.
and I'm
You're
pumped.
telling me.
It's been a while since I've been in the races, but I specifically like my little cousin. He's 19. He's like my second cousin, maybe third, second, don't know, big family. He is Derek Kraus, number 19 on the trucks. Shout out to him.
Wow.
He's like sponsored by Nampa.
Yeah.
He is on TV all the time racing, getting all these top
What?
tens. And so we're going to see him tomorrow
Yeah.
night. And I specifically, because he's 19, so I
Yeah.
had to message him on Snapchat. And I had to be like, hey, like just like that's how they text message. So I
Yeah.
had to be like, hey, can we get some headphones for tomorrow? Like we
Yeah.
want to hear you guys talk to each other. And
Yeah.
he said he could do that. And
That's
it
so
was,
cool.
yeah. And then I'm gonna
That's
go to
awesome.
steeplechase. I'm gonna go to the steeplechase that's coming up. I think
The
in
steeple
July.
chicks?
Is it called steeplechase in
Oh,
Nashville? And
Chase.
it's like
Okay.
people get these booths and they go out with the food and the drinks, and then it's like horses
Yeah.
and racing.
That's so cool. I
So
love
those
it.
two things, and then hopefully
Yeah.
I'll go like tubing one
Yeah.
day. That's my
That's
goal.
so cool. What's your like most uh like favorite thing to do? Like like go on a road trip or go to the beach or whatever. Like what's your most favorite thing to do?
Uh, I love like a really well most favorite. It's hard, but like today, just went for it was a beautiful day. Just went for a drive.
Mm.
Went out to like the park, walked down by the lake, and then we went to a drive by all this like neighborhood of beautiful houses that have
Mm.
interesting architecture and the tops down. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that's equivalent to me as just being like being on a motorcycle, and
Yeah.
I grew up loving that. I mean, Harley Davidson is
Oh,
started in the Midwest, in
yeah.
Wisconsin. So I played a lot of Harley events. I was around a lot of that, and for me, I don't have to go super fast, like 60 miles an hour, hanging out with the sunshine. I'm all about it.
Your cool factor just went up like 10 points.
Because I said Harley Davidson.
Yes.
Okay, I will share a song with you along my like first three songs I ever like
Yeah.
recorded for the my old band Thirsty Jones.
Yeah.
One of them is called Ride to Remember, and it was actually about a buddy of mine who was a firefighter, community firefighter, who passed away on his Fat
Mm.
Boy, like in an accident. So
Yeah.
I wrote a motorcycle themed song. Like I wrote a song for him, and it was called
Yeah.
Ride to Remember. And I'll have to
Oh, that
share it
is
with
so
you.
cool.
But
Yeah.
it's
Please
got
do.
some like badass low end like
Yeah.
and I'm like just singing it all like it fit perfectly with all the music we were playing with the band.
I
It was
feel
really
like you would
fun.
be like the coolest, like the cool, like I could see you in leather
I
and,
had a
like,
pleather vest. I still
yes.
do in the closet. Like heavens forbid I get rid of anything, but I
I
have
love
that
it.
still. The pleather pants, like
Yes.
I had like the black like kind of grungy boots, but not that you would wear on a bike. Yeah, and I had it all.
I love it so much. My grandpa, he was a police officer and he rode Harleys when he was a police officer. So the very first thing he got when he moved to Port Townsend, which is a city up here, when they built their house, was a Harley, and I got to be
Mm.
the first one to ride it with him. It is like my favorite thing to do on the planet is just sit behind him and like ride the Harley
Just
with him.
ride.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
so
drive. I'm not trying
yeah,
to like. I'm trying to just like relax. That's like relaxing to me. So even today, like I will have to learn. I'll
yes,
drive for fun, but like
oh
if I want a chill day, I just want to ride.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like freeing almost, and just like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
The
it's one of my
wind.
very favorite things to do. And then when I got a cat shortly after that, and I named her Harley. And
Oh,
yeah, and so like he has like I mean, he's just known for he has like everything Harley under the sun, you know?
I
Like
love it. I love it. Like a little. I can picture a little scarf. Like people
yes.
put their animals on bikes. Their little goggles and their little
Yes.
heads.
Oh my
That is so
god.
funny to me
Yeah.
every time.
Oh,
I never get sick of that.
I never get sick of seeing it, but I don't know if I could actually do that. If
Because you'd
I
be
was like,
worried.
yeah. Oh, I don't know if I
How
could do it.
I've seen, videos, or I think I've seen in person, like dogs on the back.
Mhm.
How is that dog not? What if it sees something and it goes to jump off to
Yes.
go chase that thing? Like, how does this?
Yeah, they like hold on, they like get on their
Yeah.
back and like train them
How do
to
you
hold on
train
to
a
the
dog
stuff.
to do that? I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, probably like anything else, but like still that's a difficult. Like I feel like that's like I don't know if
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, they'd have to. I mean, I guess they have good balance, but yeah,
Yeah.
it worries me.
Good balance for sure.
Hmm.
I definitely am with you on that one. Like I definitely am I'm like, okay, I feel like they're gonna fall off.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Squirrel is coming.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about kind of like about your kind of journey in music. I kind of
Okay.
feel like you just have like this really awesome story, and so I just kind of wanted you to kind of go through like your journey of like being a musician and
All right.
how you got to this point.
Yes. So Nashville, I knew it was always going to be the place that I was going to. Like we first time I came here, I was 11,
Mm,
and I got to meet Sarah Evans backstage. I got to meet like
wow.
Montgomery Gentry's manager and Vince Gill and Sarah Evans' manager, and it was a great first trip, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just at the I never felt like it was the right time for me to move.
Mm.
Although we looked at magnet middle schools like that were very geared towards music in the Nashville area,
Yeah.
then um, and then I was thinking about going to college here at Belmont. And that was going to be just too expensive.
Yeah.
So I just always knew that Nashville was going to come someday. It's just a matter of when the right time was.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, like growing up, I started in church festivals and in church. The priest would like he did a whole homily around the sun will come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like that was my first time singing in church. I was like 7. I started in plays when I was 6. I started dance, piano, eventually voice lessons, but all of that when I was 7. And I declared at 6 years old what I want to be when I grow up. And I said a
Mm.
singer, and I would just draw a little stick figure
Yeah.
explaining it. And the amount of like national anthems I've done for even the Brewers or like Packer shareholder meetings, or I think all of that stage time or competitions or going to Missouri for a week and you name it. I feel like I've definitely tried it. It's makes it so I'm so comfortable on stage. I'm not
Yeah.
thinking for a second. And sometimes it that can mess with like my vocals. Like I'm not thinking
Mm.
how mechanical I'm being.
Yeah.
I'm in the moment. Like I don't know, I'm not even thinking about how my body's moving whatsoever. So maybe there are flat notes here and there, but I would rather have the experience of everything than being like the most technical
Yeah.
singer on the spot. Although that's my goal. I'm always trying to get better. So like, I'm watching the video from last night. I'm like, okay, that one spot, the
Yeah.
placement needs to be here or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Because that's like when you want to be at a level like that's what you need to do. But for me, it's all about the live performance, and I'm so much more at ease on stage than I'm in the studio,
Mm.
where some people are the opposite, you know. But yeah, that's kind of been my journey. I started with guitar when I was 15, and I got like a fruit sticker guitar. I borrowed this guitar from Victoria Vox. Shout out to her. She's like the biggest well-known female ukulele player now.
Wow.
Now like everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
she just like graces the cover of all those magazines all the time. But when I met her, she's probably like 28. She
Wow.
had me borrow her guitar.
Yeah.
Um, I started writing with other people when I was 12. I started probably writing by myself and journaling when I was like 8, and just like
Wow. So young.
not finishing songs. Just like
Yeah.
here's a little bit.
Yeah.
So 12, I started writing, and then 15 is when I picked up the guitar and was working with Victoria Vox, and we started writing together. And
How amazing to like be able to write with her.
it was great. She like the fact that she took so much time. She like made pictures for me on like
Mm.
how to form the chords,
Yeah.
and we would have like sessions together,
Yeah.
like writing sessions, and I I'll never forget the kind of time that she took and the amount of like
Mm.
nice things that she said, which is why I try to always like this morning I was at the stage downtown, and there
Yeah.
was an 11-year-old girl named Brooklyn. Her name was Brooklyn, and she was crushing it. And I looked at her, I was like, you are well on your way,
Oh.
like to be such a star. And I made sure to say and talk to her and be like, keep doing what you're doing, and as long as you continue,
Yeah.
your dreams will come true. Everything you
Everything will
want
come
will
to
come
be.
true.
Yeah.
And I told her that, and I'm like, you already have great stage presence and your eye contact with people, like everything. And people don't have to go. I didn't have to go into all that detail, but I feel like I remember those moments when
Yeah.
people did for me. So it was cool. It was really cool to see her get up on stage, and I think we let her sing like 4 songs, and it was
Yeah.
great. It was great. But I did that. Like I would go up to the festivals, and I there were CDs, and I would be like, I have these tracks for whatever Martina McBride song or Leanne Rimes song, whichever was age appropriate. I sang a lot
Yeah.
of like Born to Fly, Sarah Evans, Who I Am, Jessica Andrews, Faith Hill, Martina
Yeah.
McBride, you know, kind of like in that vein.
Yeah.
And I would be like, can I sing during your break? And I'd be like 10 years old. And then I
That's
would
so
go and
cool.
put my CD in and be like the love, you know, like my stage presence was very much like this arm moving
Yes.
show choir style. And that's where it kind of started.
But this, I call it the Celine Dion because she does that too. She's very.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's where it started. And like some of the first artists that I loved was and remember at a very young age was like Amy Grant, Gloria Estefan. Like both of those were dancing around the living room with my mom and my sister, and like just remembering the feeling that I got. Like music felt so good and comforting and fun, and we would dance to it, and I always wanted that feeling.
Yeah.
And I think that like I try to always write with that kind of pulling those feelings out and getting really into the bass lines.
Yeah. I was the same way when I was younger. Like I loved Amy Grant and that first album, Baby, Baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stars
that 1992 record.
For you. You know, like that. And then Paula Abdul and Jan Jackson, they were like the biggest like influencers when I was younger. And I danced and I sang to them constantly because I was like, first I wanted to be like a backup dancer to all of them. So I was in dance most of my early childhood. And
working out all the moves.
Yeah. And you'd find me in like my best friend at the time. She like 30 years later, she tells me, she's like, I never really liked dancing on the lawn with you.
Oh, but you would make her. We did that to the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Like,
Spice
I
Girls,
remember fighting over which Spice Girl
who's gonna be who? Yeah.
which. And I always like wanted ginger for some reason, even though my hair was never red. But I liked her the best.
Yeah.
And we would make up dances. And that was like, I remember in like third grade in recess, we would straight up make up like cheerleading dances. Like we were the cheerleaders, and we made up dances. And that was like such a pastime growing up, was just making up dances. And rollerblading in my driveway and pretending I was a figure skater.
Yep.
And like playing music and like
rollerblading was the coolest thing with your Walkman. You know, like and before the rollerblading was the roller skating down the hills and around. And I have a nice big gash in my leg because I roller skated down a hill and I fell. I hit a rock. Obviously, it stopped the skates. And I just went forward and my knee got gashed.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I was a big rollerblader though.
No knee pads?
No, I was like 7. I didn't think I needed them. I thought I was the rebel.
Like, we had the big wheels. Like we had big wheels.
Yes, I had a big wheel
had
too.
The red car with the orange top. We had the easy bake oven. We did it all as little kids. I feel like I grew up in a neighborhood where there was like 2 blocks radius where we just hung out with kids our age.
That's
and
so
I remember
cool.
like even my sister and I, like I remember us eating snow as pretending it was ice cream and putting like sprinkles on it. And like I just feel like we really, really we even we did this one game where we would like make up how to like get through our what is the thing, like little jungle gym set where you swing on it and all the different we make up different ways on how to get from one side to another without touching the ground, but like different ways, so whoever would make up the route that you have to do it, and then we would all have to do it, and then that was like the factory, and then that when you made it you would produce an M&M.
Produce an M&M.
Like we just had M&Ms. Yeah. Okay. And like that was our way of like each person had to do that whole routine in order to like produce an M&M.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so cool. Like I remember us doing that too though. Like
Hours.
you would yeah, like you could like I don't know, do the monkey bars and then like uh they had those like swinging circle things, you know? You had to
Yes.
like
Yes.
really know how to do. Oh my God. Yeah. I totally remember all that. Go down the slide
Hmm.
or climb down the rocky thing. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Um,
I feel
but
like I had
yeah,
a good childhood.
I love it. I loved doing all those things as a kid. Like, and I everything always involved music, and everybody was always like, I would always have music playing somewhere, and like there, and I played when I turned 9, I started playing the flute, and
Really?
so that's when I got like into music. My grandma played the piano, but I started playing the flute, and that's when like it all
Oh,
kind of changed.
through
And
school, right?
yeah,
So I chose violin at the
oh,
time. Like
okay,
I had already started, when I was 7 on piano, but then
yeah.
when I was in 3rd grade, I couldn't do any of the wind instruments for some
Mm.
reason. I couldn't make it work. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we tried them all.
yeah,
Because I was like, okay, let's do clarinet, oboe, let's
yeah,
go through the whole line
yeah. See
here,
which
and
one
it just
works.
didn't work. Trumpet didn't, none of it worked. So I got on the violin and ended up loving it. Like I got really into it.
Mm.
Where I was remember like auditioning for the state
Wow.
like orchestra, like the state
Yeah.
kids orchestra, and being like up here with my pinky and like and
Yes.
I still have that violin, but it's not in a shape. It's
Yeah.
so obviously it's so old. It's not in a shape to play. We'd have to. I don't even know what we'd have to do to it.
That's
But I got
so
really into the
cool.
violin. Yeah.
I I'm way into the violin as a outsider listening. Like I love it. Like Lindsay Sterling and one of my friends, Rachel. Like I'm so into I love listening to it, but like um to play it, I have never tried, but I'm sure I probably couldn't do it. I'm just not that coordinated.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I
That's
don't.
so cool. Do you think you'll play it on one of your albums one of these days?
I don't know if I would ever play it in the studio, but I, you know, I can't rule it out that I would ever not play it live.
Yeah,
Because, like,
I
I
think you
feel like
should, friend.
once you pick up an instrument, it's kind of like it makes it a lot easier, obviously, to, like,
Yeah,
relearn it and get comfortable again. I would just have to buy an instrument.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. I think that would be awesome for you to just like I don't know, be in the middle of one of your songs and you're just I'm just gonna play the violin.
Yeah, out of nowhere, out of nowhere. It'd
Yeah,
be, and then of course I would be moving when I'm doing it because
well, for
I
sure. Yes.
can't not do that.
Yeah.
Um, I thought of something when we were talking. Like I was gonna ask you like how outdoorsy are you? Because I feel like people who don't know me think that I'm not that outdoorsy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel well from me to you. Like how outdoorsy are you?
How outdoorsy are you?
Me? I am.
Like camping. What does camping look like?
So I'm not a bug person. Like I don't mind camping, but the last time I went camping, a gigantic spider, which I'm cliche, legit terrified of spiders,
Was it like a
and
tarantula, like a mini one,
it
like a
was
hairy?
yeah, it was gigantic.
Oh gosh.
And I woke up to it just like up, like on the tent right here,
Yeah.
and I screamed bloody murder and left the tent as quick as I could in the middle of the night and didn't go to sleep until my friends woke up. And I don't know how the screaming didn't wake them up, but you know. But I sat out there and I don't know. I also am very allergic to like mosquitoes. So
Oh.
like I can't be out without like off or something. But not to say that I don't like doing those things. I love can't like being out in the outdoors and stuff, but like I'm just not like a that outdoorsy person. I would rather be like in the ocean or
Yeah.
like on a beach or
Yeah.
like hiking to a waterfall or something like that. Like those are the kinds of things I'd rather do than camp. But I don't mind camping. It takes a lot for me.
Yeah. We have a cabin up north. Like,
oh, see, I could do cabins.
yeah, but I will sleep in the tent, like behind the
Oh,
cabin.
oh,
And then there is an outhouse, like from like
yeah,
way back in the like my
yeah,
great grand's time, and they have this outhouse. Or and then like they have a shower now. They added a bathroom to the
yeah,
cabin, which is nice. There's a toilet and a shower, so you can go in there. But a lot of times people just like shower in the lake. We stay in a tent.
yeah.
I'm going up there for like 2 weeks
That's
and
awesome.
doing shows in the area, doing some concerts in the park kind of
Yeah,
things, and a couple of restaurants, and it's just gonna be like my cabin is gonna be the home base on the
yeah.
lake, and it's right on water.
Oh,
So I'm excited to do that because it's gonna be over the 4th of July.
yeah.
But yeah, it is one of those, like the shower, I guess the family's group text like doesn't really work right now. So you just kind of gotta
You're just
shower
gonna
in the
be.
lake until
Yeah,
they
I was gonna
fix
say you could jump in
it.
the lake.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, but people who go to Country USA, right, and like straight up, I feel like Country USA, you have to be get. I don't know. There needs to be. I just have to have a station. I just
Yeah,
need a station to
yeah,
get ready.
yeah,
So like when it's super hot out and we roll up to a fair in like Wayne County, Pennsylvania, and they have no plug or like
yeah.
no anything, I'm just like, can you take me to the like fair office place? I'm not trying to be high maintenance, but like I'm about to do a show, so I want
Yeah,
to be like
I need something.
looking like
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing a show right now.
yeah,
Like,
right. They're
you know what
like,
I
nope,
mean?
you're just gonna pull up with the guitar. That's all we want.
Right. So for me, I'm very like time and place.
Yeah,
Like obviously if I'm sitting around a bonfire with a bunch of mosquitoes, I'm gonna just need all the right clothes to cover me up.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
no, but it's not fun getting bit up. So
yeah.
like that's
No, it
you
seems like
know,
no matter on that note, like it seems like no matter how much I bundle up, they still find some way to like eat me.
it's the worst. It's the
My grandma's
worst.
like, it's just because you have sweet, she say
The
sweet
blood.
sweet blood. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. Can I not?
Right.
Can I just get a transfusion and just get something else?
You're the type that I love to be at a bonfire with. Because I'm like, yeah, just attract. Her blood is attracting you. Just go over there. Don't even get me.
Seriously, people will not get bit, and I'll be like, I got chewed up. Like, what happened
Yeah.
here?
Do you know your blood type?
I do not.
I do not either. How does
Yeah,
that not on any sort of form?
I know. As much as they have like and I've looked at my records, and as much as they have pulled my blood, I'm
Yeah.
like, shouldn't you guys know what it is?
Shouldn't you know by now? Like, how do
Yeah.
we not all know? I feel like someone asked me, and I was like, I didn't even know my blood type.
Oh,
Should I know
yeah.
that?
Yeah, right? And my friend was like, yeah, that's kind of important. I was like,
I know.
she's like, what if you need a transfusion? I was like, I'm hoping the doctor will know.
Right. They'll have to figure it out.
Like I couldn't tell them.
They'll have to poke me first and then
Yeah, right.
figure it out. Just
You have to
put
run
me
the
out
test
first.
first.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know it. I feel like I'm glad you're in the same boat because I
Yeah.
feel like weird that I didn't know it.
No, I'm totally with you, friend.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an hour, and I feel like this has been way too much fun, and we could probably go for a very long time.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always easy to talk to you.
You too, and I'm just so proud of you, friend, and I'm excited for your new song because you chose to release it near my birthday.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, I just think you're just doing amazing things, and I'm just so proud of you. So thank you for coming on and just having some fun and having a talk.
Absolutely. I'm like kicking it off too, kind of, right? I mean,
You
this is like
kind of, yeah. Today's like the first day. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. I'm
Boom.
excited. Yes.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Boo. I love
Thank
it.
you so much for having me. And I think these sessions are going to be so cool. I'm definitely going to tune in now that I like have these
Yeah.
artists and we have that network all together. And
Yeah.
I want to just be able to like get to know the artists
Yeah.
behind their music and
Yeah.
what, yeah, just like free form kind of talking about all sorts of stuff, also talking about their music. But I do want to say thank you to you for having this platform and
Mm.
for giving us a space to be able to be heard and talk about our
Yeah.
music and all the things and
Yeah.
celebrate what we're doing and what we're passionate about. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for always wanting to come on and being a friend and just supporting me too. I just love you guys, and I feel like for me, like everybody's the big stars of the world, I think, for you guys, so it's exciting for me to have you guys on all the time and share your music and just talk and be friends, too.
Yes. And I will see you soon. We'll be
Yes.
together on Instagram.
Yes.
So
So
look,
check out that, everybody, on the
yes.
25th, on the day that her song comes out. We're going to be on Instagram live like we normally are. And
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about her new song, Bird, when it comes out. And
Yes.
she'll sing it.
Yes, I will.
So, yeah.
Thank
So,
you for having me. Have a
yeah.
good night.
You too. Thank
Don't
you,
forget
everybody, for joining in. Have a good night.